Most people think success is a mystery, that it's hidden behind some curtain or locked away in a vault. It's something you build, something you earn, brick by brick through decisions, actions, and effort. That means you can have it. You can become wildly successful, not because someone hands it to you, but because you train yourself into it. Think about it like learning a language or playing the piano. No one is born fluent in Spanish. No one sits down at a grand piano at 5 years old and starts playing Mozart out of nowhere. You learn, you practice, you make mistakes, you look ridiculous, you keep going. That's how success works. The people you admire, the ones crushing it in their careers, leading companies, writing bestsellers, or building empires, they've trained themselves. They've failed, adjusted, and kept showing up. And while you're sitting there thinking you're not good enough, they're out there sharpening the skill of being successful. You've got to stop waiting for the perfect idea, the perfect timing, or some magical motivation to hit you like lightning. That's not how this works. There is no magic. There's just work. And the best part? You can start right now where you are with what you've got. What you need to understand is this. Success is made up of boring, repetitive, unsexy stuff. It's showing up when you don't feel like it. It's doing the work even when you're tired. It's being willing to look stupid while you're learning. It's saying no to distractions and yes to growth, even when it's uncomfortable, especially when it's uncomfortable. If you can learn how to push through that resistance, if you can practice doing the hard things, you're building the muscle of success. And just like going to the gym, it gets stronger the more you use it. But most people quit way too soon. They try something, and when it doesn't blow up overnight, they throw in the towel. Listen to me. Success is not a lightning strike. It's a slow burn. It's consistency. It's doing one thing better today than you did yesterday. It's being relentless about learning and unlearning. It's asking hard questions, taking ownership of your choices, and refusing to be a victim of your circumstances. You're not stuck because you lack talent. You're stuck because you think success is something other people get to have. You believe it's for the ones who have connections, money, the right degree, or perfect timing. That belief is the thing holding you back. And you can drop it right now. Here's a mindset shift that changed everything for me. I stopped asking, can I be successful? And started asking, what skills do I need to become the kind of person who succeeds? That question opens doors. That question puts the power back in your hands. Because skills can be learned, habits can be built, beliefs can be challenged. So, if you want the real secret to success, it's this. Treat it like a craft. Learn it, practice it, study people who've done it, fail forward, get obsessed with growth, do the things you don't want to do when they need to be done. That's it. That's the whole game. And don't be fooled by social media. Don't be fooled by social media. The curated feeds, the wins, the awards, they're just the highlight reel. You don't see the 5 a.m. wake-ups, the nights filled with doubt, the projects that bombed, the risks that scared them senseless. But they kept going. And if they can, so can you. You don't need permission. You don't need perfect. You just need to get started and keep going. And every single day that you show up, you're not just working, you're building the skill of success. It's not a secret, it's a choice. And the power to make that choice is in your hands every single day. Your life is a reflection of your decisions. That's it. That's the truth most people don't want to hear because it puts the responsibility squarely on your shoulders. But that's also the most powerful thing you can realize. Every single choice you make, what you say yes to, what you avoid, what you believe, how you spend your time is shaping your future. Success doesn't happen because you got lucky or stumbled into the right moment. It happens because you made decision after decision, again and again, that pointed you toward the person you wanted to become. We love to romanticize success. We talk about it like it's this huge breakthrough, this dramatic moment when everything changes. But let me tell you something, it's never about one big decision. It's about hundreds of small ones. It's waking up early instead of hitting snooze. It's working on your side. Hustle after your day job when you're tired. It's choosing to have the uncomfortable conversation, applying for the opportunity you feel unqualified for, or walking away from the relationship that's dragging you down. Those are the decisions that build success. And the crazy part? They're happening every single day. Most of the time, we're not even aware of them. That's why awareness is so critical. You've got to wake up. You've got to start paying attention to the way you're living. Are your decisions aligned with your goals, or are they aligned with your fears? Are you moving forward or staying stuck because it's comfortable? Look, it's easy to talk about your dreams. It's easy to say you want to write the book, build the business, lose the weight, change your life. But are your daily choices reflecting that desire? That's the question that will tell you everything. And I get it. Change is hard. It's uncomfortable. It means facing your habits, your excuses, your patterns. But you have to choose discomfort now, or you'll live with regret later. There's no avoiding the cost. You either pay the price for discipline today, or you pay the price for disappointment tomorrow. Either way, there's a cost. The difference is one leads to growth, the other leads to regret. Your brain wants to keep you safe. It wants certainty, routine, and the known. So when you start making decisions that stretch you, decisions that involve risk, effort, or vulnerability, your brain will resist. That's normal. That's not a sign to stop. That's a sign you're on the right track. If you're not uncomfortable, you're not changing. And if you're not changing, you're not growing. What I've learned is this: the gap between where you are and where you want to be isn't filled with talent or intelligence or resources. It's filled with decisions. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, courage over fear, action over procrastination, you're building that bridge, and no one else can build it for you. Stop waiting for someone to save you. Stop waiting for motivation to show up or for life to get easier. It's not going to. You have to decide that you are done being stuck, that you are done living on autopilot, that you are done letting fear and doubt run your life. You don't need more time. You don't need more information. You need to make a decision, and then another, and then another. Every successful person you admire got there because they made a different decision than everyone else. They chose to keep going when it got hard. They chose to believe in themselves before there was any evidence. They chose to take action when it didn't feel good. That's what separates them. Not luck, not timing, decisions. So if you want success, stop asking for guarantees. Start asking yourself, what decisions am I making today that my future self will thank me for? Because your future isn't some mystery. It's a result of the decisions you make now, right now. Not tomorrow, not next year, now. Your destiny isn't written by chance. It's written by choice. Make the one today that moves you forward, even just a little, and then make another tomorrow. Stack those choices. Let them build momentum. That's the path to success. It's not flashy, it's not easy, but it's yours to walk, one decision at a time. Let's get one thing straight. Discipline will take you places motivation never will. Motivation is a feeling. It's fleeting. It shows up when it wants to, and most of the time it doesn't. You can't count on it. You can't build anything lasting on something that's unreliable. Discipline, on the other hand, is a decision. It's a habit. It's something you do, not something you wait for. And that's why it's the real engine behind success. People ask me all the time, how do you stay motivated? I don't. That's the truth. I don't wake up every day excited to do the hard stuff. I don't always feel like writing, working out, making tough calls, or pushing through obstacles. I'm not some superhuman. I'm just disciplined. I've trained myself to act regardless of how I feel, and that's the difference. Discipline means doing the thing even when you don't want to, especially when you don't want to. The myth is that successful people are somehow more motivated, more passionate, more inspired than everyone else. That's nonsense. The real difference is that they've stopped waiting for the right mood. They've stopped needing the stars to align. They've built habits that carry them through the days when they'd rather quit. That's what you need to do. If you only work when you feel good, you'll never get anywhere. Because let's be honest, most days you won't feel like it. Life is busy, you're tired, you're distracted, things come up. Emotions fluctuate. And if your progress depends on how you feel, your success will always be inconsistent. Discipline removes that variability. It gives you structure. It keeps you on track even when your emotions are all over the place. And here's what most people don't realize. Discipline creates freedom. It sounds backwards, right? We think of discipline as restrictive, as something that limits us, but the opposite is true. When you're disciplined, you take control of your time, your energy, and your focus. You stop living reactively. You stop being a victim of distractions and impulses. You start owning your life. And that gives you freedom, freedom to grow, to create, to build the life you actually want instead of just drifting through the one you've got. Discipline is also how you build confidence. Every time you follow through on a commitment, even a small one, you send a message to yourself. I can trust me. That's powerful. That's how self-respect grows. That's how belief is built. It doesn't come from reading quotes on Instagram. It comes from proving to yourself over and over that you'll show up even when it's hard. But you've got to start small. Don't wait for a grand plan or a total life overhaul. Pick one habit, one promise, something simple. Maybe it's waking up 30 minutes earlier. Maybe it's putting your phone down during work hours. Maybe it's going for a walk every day. Whatever it is, make the decision once and then follow through. That's how momentum is built. Not with intensity, but with consistency. The truth is, everyone wants the results. Everyone wants the success, the health, the wealth, the impact, but very few are willing to do what it actually takes. They want the reward without the routine, but success is in the routine. It's in the boring, repeated, disciplined actions that no one sees. That's where the magic is. That's where transformation happens. So stop chasing motivation. Stop sitting around waiting for the mood to strike. Decide what matters to you and then act like it matters, even when it doesn't feel good. That's the muscle you need to build. And it is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. The more you show up despite your feelings, the easier it becomes to keep showing up. Look, motivation might get you started, but it won't keep you going. Not when things get tough. Not when you fail. Don't overthink. Just act. It might be uncomfortable. It might be awkward, but it will be real. And real action leads to real results. This rule doesn't just help you do big things. It helps you show up for the little things that matter every day. Getting out of bed when the alarm rings. Choosing focus over distraction. Speaking the truth instead of staying silent. Over time, these small wins become who you are. They build a version of you that is bold, decisive, and in control. The clock is always ticking, and the choice is always yours. You can let fear talk you out of the life you want, or you can count down and launch yourself into it. 5 seconds. That's all it takes to change everything. There's something incredibly powerful about being relentless. It's not about being perfect. It's not about never falling or failing. It's about deciding that no matter what happens, you will not give up. You will not back down. You will keep moving forward, even if it's slow, even if it's messy, even if nobody claps for you while you do it. That mindset, the relentless one, is what separates people who talk about success from the people who create it. See, anyone can be motivated when things are going well. It's easy to be confident when you're winning. But the real test is what you do when everything falls apart. When your plan fails, when people doubt you, when the effort isn't paying off the way you hoped. That's where the relentless ones shine. They don't quit. They don't collapse. They adjust. They take a breath. They reframe the setback, and they keep going. Being relentless means you stop making excuses. You stop blaming the economy, your past, your upbringing, your age, your circumstances. You stop waiting for someone to give you permission or make it easy. You realize no one is coming to save you, and that's okay, because you're capable of saving yourself. You choose grit over comfort. You choose persistence over pity. You choose to keep showing up even when everything in you wants to disappear. Relentless people have this quiet fire in them. They don't need constant praise or recognition. They don't need to be told they're doing great. They've already decided that the vision they're working toward is worth the struggle. They know that success is earned through repetition, through discomfort, through a ridiculous amount of patience. They understand that consistency beats talent when talent stops trying, so they just keep going. They stay in the game long after most people would have quit. When you're relentless, failure doesn't define you, it teaches you. You stop fearing it. You expect it. Because you know that every failure is just feedback. It's data. It's redirection. And instead of letting it destroy you, you use it to get better, to get sharper, to build resilience. That's the real win. Not that you never fell, but that you always got back up. That's what creates unshakable confidence. Not that you never struggle, but that you trust yourself to get through it. This is where most people stop. When things get uncomfortable, they think it's a sign to quit. When the results don't show up fast enough, They start doubting everything. But relentless people, they understand that discomfort is the cost of growth. They understand that anything meaningful takes longer than you think and demands more than you expect. And they're willing to pay that price. Let me tell you something. Talent will get you started, but discipline and relentlessness are what will carry you through. The world is full of talented people who gave up, people with potential who never followed through. But the ones who rise, the ones who build something that lasts, they're the ones who stay in motion, who get knocked down and keep moving anyway. Relentlessness is a decision. It's waking up every day and deciding that no matter what happened yesterday, you're still in the game. It's refusing to let temporary emotions dictate long-term decisions. It's pushing forward when your mind is screaming at you to stop. It's not about energy or hype. It's about commitment. Quiet, gritty, unshakable commitment. You don't have to move fast. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to move forward inch by inch, day by day, step by step. That's how progress is made. That's how breakthroughs happen. Not in a flash, but in relentless persistence. When you feel like quitting, remind yourself why you started. When you feel alone, remember that every champion once stood exactly where you are, at the edge of doubt, faced with a choice. Give up or keep going. So choose to keep going. Choose to be relentless. Not because it's easy, but because you've decided that the goal is worth it, that you're worth it. Let the world underestimate you. Let the odds be against you. Just don't underestimate yourself. Because the truth is, the most unstoppable force on the planet isn't talent, luck, or timing. It's a person who refuses to quit. Be that person, keep going, relentlessly. There's one final piece to the puzzle that no one talks about enough when it comes to success: consistency. Everyone wants the secret hack, the shortcut, the instant result. But the truth, the real magic is in showing up over and over again, even when it feels boring, even when it feels like nothing is happening. Consistency is what takes an average effort and turns it into extraordinary results. It's not about doing one big thing once. It's about doing the small, important things daily without fail. You don't get fit from one workout. You don't become a master after one lesson. You don't build a business or change your mindset in a day. All of that comes from repetition, from sticking to your habits and routines when the excitement wears off, from showing up on the days when nobody's watching and you're not getting any recognition. That's where the real progress happens. In the quiet, unglamorous moments when you're building something brick by brick. Consistency is how you prove to yourself that you're serious. It's how you build trust in your own word. Every time you follow through, no matter how small the action is, you reinforce the belief that you're capable, that you're disciplined, that you finish what you start. That self-trust is like a muscle. It gets stronger the more you use it. But the only way to build it is through consistent action. It's easy to be consistent for a week. Anyone can commit to something when they're excited. But what about when life gets in the way? When the schedule's tight, when you're tired, when motivation disappears, that's where most people fall off. That's where they convince themselves it's okay to skip just this once, and one day off becomes 3 days become a week. Before you know it, the habit's broken, the momentum is gone, and you're starting from scratch again. But the people who succeed, they keep going. They do it even when they don't feel like it. They know that it's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. It's not about intensity, it's about frequency. It's about showing up and doing the work, especially on the days when it's hardest, because those are the days that matter most. Being consistent doesn't mean you'll never struggle. It doesn't mean you'll never mess up. Of course you will. You're human. But it means that when you fall, you get back up fast. You don't let one bad day turn into a bad week. You don't throw in the towel just because you hit a rough patch. You recommit. You realign. You keep showing up. And here's the powerful part. Consistency compounds. What feels small today adds up over time. 10 minutes of reading every day turns into dozens of books a year. A daily walk becomes a healthier body. Writing a paragraph a day turns into a novel. It doesn't feel like much in the moment, but over time it becomes massive. Success doesn't happen in big leaps. It happens through tiny steps taken consistently. You've got to stop waiting for motivation and start relying on discipline. You've got to stop chasing intensity and start respecting the process. Consistency is the price of entry. It's the grind behind the glow up. It's the reason the results eventually show up. And it's something anyone can do if they're willing to stop making excuses and start making decisions. What matters most is not what you do once in a while. It's what you do consistently. That's what shapes your habits. That's what shapes your identity. If you want to be a writer, write every day. If you want to be strong, train regularly. If you want to build a business, work on it every single day, even if it's just one small action. Don't wait for the stars to align. Don't wait to feel ready. Just commit to showing up. Consistency doesn't just build success, it builds you. It builds patience, resilience, focus. It teaches you how to work with boredom, how to master your emotions, how to keep going without applause. It gives you a sense of control in a world full of chaos. And most of all, it proves that the version of you who doesn't quit is the one who wins. So if you're tired of starting over, stop stopping. Choose to be the person who shows up, the person who follows through, the person who understands that real change is never instant, but it is inevitable when you're consistent. Keep going, keep building. Keep building, because every small step done consistently will take you further than any burst of intensity ever could.